Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle products that are friendly to your skin. And you know what time it is. It is time for September favorites, the video where I get to share all of my skincare and beauty products that have been making a really big impression on me. And as always, if this video is helpful, entertaining, if you like what you see, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do consider hitting subscribe to my channel, especially if you like to talk about sensitive skin care. All right, let's jump right into the September favorites. Give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. All right, let's start off with the Paula's Choice Discoloration Repair Serum. This features 3% of tranexamic acid and 5% of niacinamide. And this is really geared towards helping to fade dark marks, but particularly sun damage. And this is a formula that would be really good for melasma. So I talked about this in my dark marks video that I released a couple of weeks ago. And I told you, I had been using it for a while. I was really impressed, really excited about this product and what it was doing for my skin, but I still wanted to give it like a little bit more time to really fully test it out. So it didn't quite feel right to talk about it in my August favorites video, even though that's like when I was really excited about it, but it's so right this month in September favorites to talk about this product because wow, have I been seeing really nice results with this. Because the first time I used it, I definitely noticed, I noticed it the first day that I used it. I know sometimes you'd be like, really the first day? But like honestly, like in the first day and definitely on the first couple of uses, I noticed when I woke up in the morning, like my skin tone was so much brighter. So just like for an overall uneven or dull complexion, this works incredibly fast to just kind of give you that quick shot of brightening to your skin. Now, hyperpigmentation, and that's really going to be like the dark marks left over from pimples, which is something I definitely do struggle with. I mean, talk about an immediate concern on the skin. When I get a pimple, I am always left with a dark mark afterwards. And you know that those can take like a couple of weeks to a couple of months to really fade from your face, depending on how dark they are, right? So I've had some whoppers in my day, I'll tell you. And I have some currently that I've been working on. This works faster than like pretty much any other brightening product that I have currently. Like I honestly would say this even works a little bit faster than my Curology tretinoin niacinamide azelaic acid mix on hyperpigmentation. And that stuff actually works really fast, but I almost feel like this targets it just a little bit faster, just a little bit better. So this is definitely potent for that type of hyperpigmentation. But let's talk about sun damage because like I said earlier, that's the kind of discoloration on the skin that is going to take such a long time, a lot of patience, a lot of dedication. So I do have small patches of sun damage on both of my cheeks, and it's kind of like a cluster of freckles. And then you may be familiar with what I'm about to say if you have this too. It's like behind that cluster of freckles is like a brown patch. Like it's just like a little area of discoloration even behind that damage. And that brown patch is what faded like very quickly, just a few weeks with this. And I was like, I think that that overall discoloration in that area is gone. The freckles are still there, but they are looking so much better because there's not a brown patch behind them. So I was really impressed because yes, other brightening ingredients have helped me in the past, but nothing has worked as fast as this. So in that dark marks video, I did tell you that this ingredient doesn't really irritate my skin, but it does kind of stimulate it. And I do stand by that statement. It's not anything that is like making my skin super sensitive or irritated, but it is a stimulating ingredient that I have to go very slow with. I have to be very careful because if I did put this on too much, I think we would go into the irritation zone. So I am very cautious with how much I'm applying this. It may not be the case for everybody, but I do think if you have sensitive skin, like just be careful, slow, and cautious with this, which you probably would be already, but I'm just kind of making it very clear. Like I have to be very careful with this. And it's for two reasons. It's the sensitive skin, but it's also because I'm already on tretinoin, right? So that just takes precedent in my skincare routine. And I have very little room in my skincare routine for any other kind of like potent, strong stimulating types of ingredients. But I really do want to keep going with this because of the really positive benefits that I'm seeing for that sun damage. So I'm just taking it really slow with this. I probably could be further along with my results, but I could also be in like total like damaged moisture barrier if I push my skin too far. So I just wanted to give that little PSA because, you know, you definitely don't want to get too caught up in the results that something like this can give you, because I'll tell you, the results are so encouraging. It's really exciting to see that progress on my skin, but I also don't want to get so addicted to that I put it into my skincare routine too many times a week and I end up with irritated skin. You know, it's really easy to get caught up in the results, and it's really easy to ignore what your skin is telling you. So I have had to practice a lot of skin tuition and a lot of patience as I've been working with this, because my unique situation means that I can't use this as often as I would really like to, but I have to listen to my skin. And I think that's been the key to my success with this product and tretinoin and having sensitive skin. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of like put that out there because it's so easy to ignore what your skin is telling you, but you can definitely get yourself into hot water if you do that. Next up is the Ordinary Buffet Plus Copper Peptides. Now, you know, I've been going on like a huge The Ordinary kick. I've been talking about a lot of their products. I've been buying way too many of them. And this is one of them. I've been using this now for, I think it's been 2 months, maybe a little shy of 2 months. It's been a while, and I've been really impressed with this. Now, this has 1% of copper tripeptide 1 plus all the other well-aging peptides in the buffet serum. So there's a lot of collagen stimulation here, a lot of elasticity improvement, firming of the skin. There's some brightening in here as well. You know, I love peptides. I'm always going on and on about them, and this is like peptide mother load. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. Really, all of the well-aging, really well-proven peptides are in this formula. So I've been using this long enough to start to detect some benefits, some changes on my skin. Now, overall, so far, I've been using this just shy of 2 months now. I would say what I've been noticing is just like an overall general improvement in my skin. It's not just like one area where I've noticed like a big change. It's just a subtle like improvement overall. My skin seems firmer, it seems more lifted, it seems healthier. You know, I almost want to say that it looks brighter, but it's not necessarily like a brightening like the Polish choice. It's more of like a lit from within glowy, or just a healthier overall appearance to my skin. You know, when I first started using this serum, I was not that happy with how my skin was looking right at that particular point in time, because I was really stressed, I was really tired, I was just kind of like having one of those moments, you know what I mean? And for me, when I do get to high levels of stress and, you know, high levels of exhaustion, it will show on my face. I'm a human being just like everyone else, right? And so when I started to incorporate this serum and I was playing around with the regular buffet and the arginine solution, I was really focusing on those products because I wanted to see an improvement in my skin. I wanted more of that well-aging improvement. I was noticing the fine lines were becoming a little bit more obvious on my under eye, and so I wanted to see improvement in that area, and I do feel like I have. Like I said, it's a subtle overall improvement, but I'm happy with that. And I think the longer I use this, the better those benefits are going to be. Now, let's talk about copper peptide, because I feel like every time I talk about this serum, I get a question in my comments saying, can I pair this with X, Y, or Z ingredient? There's a lot of, I don't even want to say like information, there's just like a lot of talk about what you can and can't pair with copper peptide. And most of it, to me, what I'm seeing is not really convincing me one way or the other. Now, I'm not saying that anybody is wrong or that I'm right. I'm just saying, like, as a personal skincare lover, I'm as confused as you are. Now, The Ordinary says not to pair the copper peptide serum with ascorbic acid, with vitamin C. That's what they're saying is not good, because they basically cancel each other out. They make each other ineffective. Now, aside from that, that's all that The Ordinary says you should not do with this product. outside of that, I am seeing a lot of people questioning if you can pair copper peptide with retinol or with tretinoin. And I have seen some ideas around the fact that combining these two on sensitive skin can actually increase sensitivity and irritation. I've personally accidentally used copper peptide and like retinol or tretinoin together, and I haven't really noticed any issue on my sensitive skin. If you are very concerned, like I said, I'm not convinced one way or the other on this one, but if you're super concerned and you just want to like have an abundance of caution, it's really not that hard to just put this into a separate routine, right? You're not using retinol or tretinoin AM and PM every single day, right? So the times you're not using that is when you want to slate this into your skincare routine if you want to be extra cautious. Okay, so this has been kind of an interesting month for me skincare wise, and it was really difficult for me to put this video together because I was like, all right, what are my favorite products from September? And I was like, yeah, definitely Paula's Choice and The Ordinary. And I was like, what else? And I was like, well, you know, I've really been liking this, and this, but all of these have been named as favorites in the past. So this has been an interesting month because it's a transitional month. We're going from the end of summer into the beginning of fall, and this is when the temperatures start to change. Things start to get cooler, the weather starts to get drier, my skin type starts to shift. And in the summer, I'm very traditionally combination skin, but as I move into the fall is when my skin gets a little bit drier. I get a little bit more sensitive, and because my allergies are usually flaring up around this time too, I'm a lot more prone to inflammation and to pimples. So when we're in this kind of in-between period, I have to be very careful with my skincare routines. I just got to stick to what works and what I know is going to get me through this in-between time as painlessly as possible. So quick shout out to the by Wishtrend Polyphenols in Propolis Ampoule. Of course, you know, I always talk about it. I've talked about it many years, and you may have noticed I've been talking about it a lot recently because this is what I'm leaning on to get me through this in-between time. At the beginning of September, I was getting all these little pimples on my face. Some of it was from mask wearing. Some of it, I don't know what was going on. It was just like that seasonal shift and that skin type switch where things just are a little awkward for a while. And I was like, oh no, it's time to get out the polyphenols in Propolis Ampoule. And within a few days, those pimples were gone. My skin was calmer. The redness was reduced. My skin was clear. And I was like, yes. You know when things just work, you know, and this product just works for me every single time. So alongside of the Ordinary Buffet and Copper Peptide Serum, this has been like the only other serum that I've been using like all month long. I've been slamming through this bottle. I need to do a reorder really soon. I love to pair it with the by Wishtrend Quad Active Boosting Essence because I feel like these two, while I don't know necessarily if they were made to go together, they complement each other so well. There's a good amount of willow bark extract in the Quad Active Boosting Essence, which is just the right amount of really gentle, like salicylic compounds that my skin needs. So basically like natural BHA. It's really not that exfoliating, but it's just the right amount for my skin. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps kind of clear some of the dead skin cells away in an incredibly gentle way. It's just that little boost that my skin needs, and it's just the right amount of boost that my skin can take. So I love the Ampoule on its own, but when I need a little bit more, pairing those two products together, super helpful for me this month. And just quickly, a shout out to the Benton Goodbye Redness Centella Sheet Mask. I like to always have this on hand because it's such a calming and soothing mask, and it also helps when your skin is inflamed and getting pimples. But I've been leaning on this a lot this month just to calm any kind of like inflammation on my skin due to allergies. I feel like my skin just gets in a stressed out state when my allergies are acting up, which has been this month. And so this is one of those masks that I lean on when I need that quick shot of calming to my skin. This always does it. It reduces the inflammation, the redness, the irritation. It brings so much hydration into my skin. It's just such a beautiful mask. I like all the sheet masks from Benton, but this one's definitely rising in the ranks as one of the ones that I have to always have on hand because it suits my skin so well. So as I mentioned earlier, you know, this month I've just been focusing on on the oldie but goodie skincare to get me through this month. So not a lot of new products that I've been trying. However, you know, as much as I like to focus this type of video on all the stuff that has impressed me, I did try something this month that did not impress me. This is not a fave. This is a fail of September, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Magic Facial Dry Sheet Mask. Now, when I first encountered this product, I was like, what is a dry sheet mask? How does that work? My mind can't understand. Like, what? I was super intrigued by this idea of a dry sheet mask. This is not the essence-soaked cotton sheet mask that you may be familiar with. It's infused with hydrating and moisturizing oils. There's niacinamide in here. And this is just meant to sit right on top of your face, and it kind of infuses all of that nourishment into your face. It claims to brighten, lift, and firm your skin. I think you use it for about 10 minutes. So I was definitely intrigued by how does this work? Not only what is a dry sheet mask, but how will it work for the skin? I was also really intrigued because this is actually a reusable mask. You can use this up to 3 times, the same mask, which I think is a good thing because, you know, you and I can probably agree that sheet masks do create a little bit of extra waste, right, in our skincare with all that individual packaging. You can have the same mask and use it multiple times. That in theory could reduce, you know, waste of people who like to mask consistently, right? So anyways, lots of promise to this product, definitely. And it's not a bad product. Like, it didn't do anything bad to my skin, but I'll just say that this was a kind of mask. I was not really impressed with what it did for my skin because it didn't really do much for my skin. So the benefit that I got from this mask was a little bit of moisture. Just a little bit. And just a little bit of comfort, just a little bit of moisture. And the reason that for me that was an was just because I could have just put on 1 layer of moisturizing toner or essence and have been done with it. You know, I wouldn't have had to take the time to do this 10-minute mask and gotten just a little bit of benefit out of it. And skincare isn't always about how fast you can do it, but a lot of times it is. And yeah, I just wasn't really that impressed. And even looking at the ingredients list, it's not an impressive ingredients list. I think I was more interested in the novelty of it. I've never tried a dry sheet mask before. I have heard of them, but I didn't really know how they would work. And this was just okay. I do find this a little bit expensive. It's about $22. This was actually sent to me by the brand for like free. But for $22, I don't know that I would purchase this personally, even with multiple uses out of it. It's a little pricey for not giving me too much result. So not a bad product, but not a super impressive one. And for me, it was kind of a disappointment because I felt like it had a lot of promise. The end of September is the true calendar beginning of fall. Now, I know some of you were probably out there the last week of August wearing your boots, sipping your PSL, super excited for fall. And I don't blame you. It's one of my favorite seasons too. You know, I think it's one of the most beautiful seasons, especially if you're lucky enough to live in an area where you get to see the leaves turn. I love that. I personally do. And I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's an exciting time. It's a fun time. It's a beautiful time. And it is a time of change. And so I just kind of want to leave you with a thought that I was having recently, which was, oh, fall is coming. It's time to shift my energy. It's time to shift and kind of get on board with the new season, because I really do believe in honoring the seasons, following your energy with the seasons. And I do believe kind of like in a concept of seasonal self-care, which is really honoring each season and honoring what your body is telling you, because I feel like spring and summer are very energetic. They can be very go, go, go types of high energy seasons. The fall, I feel like we can get a lot of high energy too when it comes, especially early fall. September was one of the busiest months that I've had in a very long time. It was a little bit stressful actually because there's just so much to do. But even so, as the temperatures start to cool, you might feel your body saying, it's time to take a break. It's time to step back. It's time to rest. It's time to slow down. It's time to hibernate. It's time to nest. I want to be cozy. I want to, I want to watch a movie. I want to slow down. Honor what your body is telling you. If you're feeling that pull to slow down, to get cozy, to get comfortable, to maybe hibernate, to stay in a little bit. When you're at the edge of burnout, when you're having a hard time giving yourself permission to slow down, look out your window. Look at what nature is doing. Follow nature's cues. Follow your body's cues. Get a little bit like more in touch with what your body's telling you. And don't forget to allow yourself to slow down. Don't forget to give yourself that permission slip to slow down. Self-care, you know what I mean? Filling up your cup, it's a good thing. Never feel guilty about that. And I feel like this is the time of year where we're really starting to crave it, but we might be denying ourselves that. So I just want to give you that reminder going into October, going into the beautiful fall months, that it's absolutely okay to slow down, give yourself a break, and give yourself a rest. So of course I want to know what skincare products you've been loving recently, because sometimes I get some of the best product recommendations from you. So let me know in the comment box below. If you made it this far in the video but you haven't hit subscribe, please do consider hitting subscribe to my channel. I release lots of new skincare content throughout the week, so don't forget to turn on notifications. I hope you guys are healthy, happy, and safe wherever you are in the world, and I cannot wait to talk to you in the next video. Bye.